Now to the races we're following in Georgia tonight. First, let's talk about the race for U.S. House District 1. Right now, the race is being called for Joyce Griggs, who with 90% reporting, as you can see there, has 56% of the votes. In the race for State Senate for District 3, Sheila McNeil has been declared the winner tonight against David Sharp. McNeil took the race with a 63% win.
And hey, remember, early voting runs at least through Saturday in all 9 counties in Northeast Florida. The primary election will be held next Tuesday, August 18th.